like, those like huge Facebook leaks and all those. There are some people that use that data. There's very few people that I know that are public about using that data. We're still in the wild west of figuring out how to even harness customer data and like secure it in any sensible way. I would imagine that there's a lot of companies whose underlying data sets have come from some shadowy places. Data can be this kind of shadowy empire industry, and we can get into a little bit of some of those examples. I won't mention any names, but So I'm basically just a data nerd. I've been in the data space now for 6 years, and specifically when I say data, I mean to be contacts and company information. Two entities that we care about specifically are people and companies. The thing that we're trying to solve is just to improve your targeting. How specific can you get about your ideal buyer? List building is this super like archaic thing that people do because like you can get very advanced, and if you're good at it, the super data nerds like ourselves are like super into it. Like, how many different permutations or variations of things can I play around and mess with? But for most people, it's just like, I just need to find this person who is in San Francisco and like knows Python and Java or something. If anyone who's doing B2B lead gen at scale, every large agency, they all care about this, right? Because it's all about efficiency. You want to understand when you're looking at a company or a person where they are at that moment in time, not, again, like you said, 7 months ago, where they used to work. As unsexy as it is like truly the highest leverage activity is just making sure that you get accurate data that's actually like classified correctly. And I think most people sort of skip over that step because either people tell them like, just trust us, this data's right. And they're like, okay. And then they sort of move on and they focus on everything else. Now you're getting incredibly granular, right? And now you can spend more of your marketing dollars targeting those people first, right? And then maybe going to the sort of secondary and tertiary segments that you might want to sell to. Especially in a B2B context when you don't have millions of buyers. You might have like 50 to 60,000 true buyers of your like forever. That's your entire market. I want to spend all my marketing dollars on those 50,000 people. And I don't care if I've shown them impressions 300 times. Like, I just keep hitting them until they buy from me. That's a valid strategy for a lot of companies. I did that myself as the head of growth in a completely unnuanced way that I did it. It was very successful. I've seen lots of companies succeed with the volume game, but I think ultimately you're going to burn through all of your leads, and hopefully you don't do that with too much of a bad taste in people's mouth. That's the place where founders make the biggest mistake, because what they'll do is they'll end up throwing it into these email sending platforms, put in like 5,000 contacts into this campaign, and they just let it ride, right? Just halfway in, that's like, well, now our mailboxes don't work anymore because like none of those people work at those companies. We're actually using GPT-3 to automate sending and personalizing emails. And if I was a SDR and needed to craft this message, I'd have to really think about all those things. Now you have machines that can do it just as well, if not better, and at scale. The way to understand and classify companies and get data at scale has never been easier than it has today. It's pretty awesome.